It's paracetamol, and the chest pain went away, but so did so it has this mind uh, uh, loosening up the mind effect. All these thoughts about. Also, maybe the real reason is that it's Wednesday morning and I'm leaving on Friday, so it's 2 days. It's today and tomorrow, and I'm leaving Friday for Tijuana to be with Banda for a little bit, and then to cross the border and see Dad. So my mind is just full of ideas of what I need to do, how I need to do it. Um, we get comfortable in our lives. We get into a comfortable space. Like even my cat's here. It's a comfortable space, right? I mean, I don't really need to. I don't really need to do much here. I feed the cats, uh, and I feed myself, and I feed Mauricio with a very basic job that pays $5 an hour, 4 hours a day, so it's $20 a day, and we eat with that, all of us. But it's not sustainable. It's an unsustainable. I go deeper and deeper in the disrepair of the house and everything. And there's a part of me that is very comfortable doing that because I don't need a lot. I'm very simple in my needs. But there's a part of me that also feels that I'm not doing justice to the word is not productive. The word is more like, hey, that's a nicer way. But my little cave is dark. But my little cave is dark. And my cat obviously is eating crockets. Can't see my cat though. I'm full of cats right now, obviously. Anyways, um, so I'm not selling books. I'm not writing. I'm just maintaining or sustaining a very basic life. And the truth is, my dad is going to be 82 years old and his health is not so good. So I do want to see him, uh, you know. Um, but for instance, I couldn't really do any repairs in the house if I don't get more income. And the only way I know how to do that is in the States. Mexico has a very limited. I mean, I suppose I could do it from here remotely, but I haven't figured out the formula. And the way I did it before is that I had my Social Security disability, and that helped a lot with the upkeep of the house and the kids and everything. And I raised the kids with that Social Security paycheck, which I'm entitled to. I'm officially really disabled. It's not a lie. It's the truth. Uh, the legality of it is always a problem because governments change and rules change. But I do have cerebral palsy, so it's a money that I'm entitled to by law, and there's no sense in not trying to get it. Um, and that money out here would make a huge difference for me and for my cats mostly. Mauricio will eat better too. Mauricio and I eat with the cats. We eat tortillas, a few vegetables, and mostly chicken leftovers, like the chicken bones. So we make bone soup, and we make like from the chicken skins, we make fried chicken skins. And that's okay. You can survive on that. It's very healthy. But after a while, you're going to be kind of getting fed up of it and you're going to want to do something else. So I need to have this next eye operation. And there's a lot of elements. I mean, I haven't seen Nana since he came out here to see me, and I do want to see how he lives. I haven't seen Sasha in a long time. I want to see her. So I figured out that a part of what I'm doing also is detaching myself from my comfort zone to grow. Now, there's a part of me that has been thinking about just leaving everything and going walking, just like the Peace Pilgrim type style. Uh, you don't know who the Peace Pilgrim is. The Peace Pilgrim was a woman, I think she was like 60 something year old woman, that decided to walk from California to New York, or from New York to California, for peace. So she got a t shirt that said Peace Pilgrim, and she started walking and hitchhiking all over the United States talking about world peace. Um, she didn't make a lot of noise about it. I mean, she is known. She did have a few uh, articles written about her, but she wasn't like a huge splashy thing. But she did it for herself. She didn't do it for the splashy thing, and that's kind of what I wanted to do with myself for a number of years because I had an idea that God gave me the duty to do that. But then I also, as I grow up and mature, realize that a lot of that is just my ego. But that's just ego. That's just my ego trying to measure up, you know. And that's also that's not the way. The middle way is better. The middle way is observing what's really going on, trying to figure it out, trying to determine my role or my purpose in it, and going forward from that. Right now, for instance, I have all these cats, and these cats require vaccinations. They require, uh, um, I mean, I need money to take care of the situation. Just a fact of life. And then there's the other things. I mean, the lawsuit with Andrea, which is ridiculous, and the fact that in Mexico there's basically no law. It's more like a mafioso country that who's the most mafioso is the winner. Really weird stuff. But then as I observe the world, I realize, oh well, there's actually no law in the United States either. It's just uh, a very Nietzschean, uh, survival of the fittest type thing. And at the deepest level of it all, um, the journey has an end, and the end of the journey is death. And when you get that really clear in your head, when you really, really understand that there is no happy ending other than resting from life, and that we are not this body or this mind, that's a profound thing. I mean, I saw my mom died in my arms. My mom died in my arms. And that changed me. That changed me profoundly. That changed everything about me. But also it didn't. I mean, I'm still the little scared boy, you know. Like today I had a really interesting conversation with Mauricio. We were talking about abandonment, the fact that I've been abandoned by my mother, by my father, and the only person that really gave me like stability, real stability, was my grandmom said, you come take care of me or take care of your grandma, you choose. So I had to choose, and I chose mom. And in all these choices that we make throughout life that affect our present, my present reality is a combination of all the choices that I've made so far and the choices that I'm making further on. I mean, why am I really going to LA? Well, obviously to see my dad. That's the top notch reason, but there's many other reasons. I'm going to LA because I need to detach from the house and from the cats. They have me way too emotionally attached. I need to detach from my poverty. I mean, down here in Mexico, I've been living a very austere life for a very long time, uh, and I used to live a lot less austere when I worked in L.A. I had an apartment, and I had a car, and I had I could buy clothes, and I could travel. I could travel easier. Right now, that's not the case. Right now, it's very difficult. I mean, I was able to I'm able to travel to LA thanks to Yakov Benzvi that loaned me $200 to buy a ticket. I wouldn't have been able to buy the ticket if I hadn't gotten that loan or that uh, gift. It was a gift. I didn't have $200 to buy a ticket to Tijuana. Now I do. And it's funny because I don't really put a lot of energy into making money over the years. I mean, I had the Social Security, which helped me take care of my family for 20 years. I lost that Social Security because uh, um, they cut it off. I still have to figure out why. That's kind of one of the reasons I'm going to LA. And my disability check, right? And uh, and my tarot reading and my writing and all that hasn't really produced like the kind of money that I could really make if I focused on making money. Because I don't like to focus on making money. I've never done that. I there was a time actually. It's a lie. I did focus when I was younger. I was much younger and making money. There was a time when I was like in my 20s that I wanted to make $1 million. I was my At some point in my 20s also I said to myself, I'm not going to worry anymore about making $1 million. It's not important. And from that moment on, what was important was just surviving, just, going to the next day. I was not worried about like financial futures and everything. I worried about money because I needed money, basic money to survive. But I wasn't like ambitiously looking for that one deal that would break all the bank and everything. Like my dad has always been like money, 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 money. Very focused on that. And I purposely went the opposite way. And my relationship with money turned very toxic because I found myself on the receiving end of poverty for a number of years, not really wanting to deal with it, trying to do as little as possible to deal with it. And now, as I'm turning 57, I'm realizing, oh my God, I have 30 cats and they have to eat every day. Uh, what can I do to change my financial situation? If I needed money, I always worked and got it. I mean, I got like when I didn't have the Social Security and I had to take care of my mom and I had to take care of my sister and her kid, I got to reading tarot cards. And got up in the morning and I went to the tianguis, to the market, and I sat on a chair and I read cards for 6, 8 hours until I got enough money to buy milk and bread and vegetables. Vegetarian this time. She didn't buy chicken. But now it's a different game. It's a different guy. Now I got cats, and the cats are. I don't want to say they're more expensive because they're actually less expensive, but they are more demanding. They're like they're more needy than my mother and my sister and her kids. It's the same energy. I mean, I'm still taking care of stuff, of people, just furry people right now, not not real people. And Mauricio said something very interesting today that I wanted to share with you guys, the world, and myself. He said, you got abandoned by your nieces and nephews. They're not here. They're not. You guys are not fighting together to work on the house together. Everybody went their own way, and that must have affected you negatively. And of course it did. Of course it did. We fought together for a number of years, and then when they got big and they went their ways. But that's the American way. I I from a very young age, I told these kids, when you have your own, when you're old enough, you're gonna want to have you're gonna want to make your own life. That's what I told them every day as they were growing up. I am not a Mexican type family guy. I'm an American type family guy where everybody goes off and does their things. But there's something weird about that. There's something dysfunctional about that too. And I'm beginning to realize it because live alone with a bunch of cats. So going to LA is trying to, in part going to LA and into Tijuana, obviously, is part of that. It's part of recuperating or fighting for that family, that extended family that is like, so important, so crucial. And I pushed away everybody in a sense too. Like my dad has done it. And my dad and my grandma and I, Grandma B and my dad and I, share that element. My grandma used to collect dolls to make up for the fact that her children didn't live near her or with her. And oddly enough, she took care of her mother. She took care of her mother. She bought her a trailer and she went every day to check in on her, um, which I find very sweet on her part. But also, it was not an easy relationship. They had a lot of issues. They she just felt the responsibility part of it, and that's, I guess, the point. The point is not because your family is not with you, you put that aside and focus on yourself. That's a lie. That's a bullshit. Your family will always be your family, and you got to think about how to help them and do the best you can for them, you know, and for yourself. And then the biggest question, I suppose, is what do I need? Not what my cats need. My cats need, obviously, food and shelter and vaccinations and all that kind of. My cats are cats. They're not so complicated. I'm a human being. What does a human being need beyond just walking from here to Santa Fe, New Mexico? You know, um, obviously, I need to confront Katya. At some point, I need to go there and see her face to face and say, "Hey, remember me?" and see what she's got to say about that. Because A, I'm not a rapist or a child endangerment type of guy. B, uh, there is abandonment there too. There is like a very serious breaking away from that includes my dad, and my dad is actually he doesn't say it hurts him, but it hurts him deeply. And I'm at fault. I am the root of that pain. I'm the cause of that pain. That whole thing with my sister and I years ago. Uh, I don't want to say that is what the cause of the family fell apart, but the family fell apart, and because there was like court orders and shit like that, legal stuff. I stayed away, but as a long time has passed, and I don't feel good about it. I don't feel right about it. I feel there's something rotten in Denmark, and I need to face it. I need to go face those demons. You don't win against your dark side. I've been reading. Well, I've been actually listening to the Carl Jung's Red Book, and he's very right about something. You don't you don't get rid of your shadow by avoiding it. You have to go right into it. You have to go straight into the shadow and see it for what it is, and accept it, and see it as part of you, and see what it's trying to tell you. Am I happy that my family left after mom died? No, of course I'm not. We should have stayed together and fought together. But again, we didn't want to. So it's also okay. It's also a life choice. We're choosing what to do. I mean, if you look at the videos, earlier videos of this on this channel, you'll see me with the kids having fun, and the kids having fun in the house, and grandma having fun with the kids. It was all fun and games until it wasn't. Until it was like pain and anguish and hurt and dark stuff that some of us handled okay sometimes, but some of us handled really badly most of the time. And in that pain and anguish and all those feelings that were not always filmed on my channel, because it's easier to film the fun stuff than the sad stuff. I did try to catch a few of the sad moments, a few of the darker moments in our lives, because I wanted this to be a record that is honest, that is truthful, not just the nice stuff, but the dark stuff too, the shadow. The shadow is such an intimate, important part of our lives that goes literally unseen because it's the shadow, because nobody wants to face the shadow. And yet, it is what affects us most deeply. You know, we are affected by the shadow usually more deeply than by anything else. So, you break up the family, you break up the possibility of defending each other from cartels, corrupt governments, uh, uh, people trying to take advantage of you, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. If you break up your family, you reduce your protection, you reduce your troops. Like, let's say that you're in a world where you need people to defend you, and if you don't have people that defend you, you don't have a family to defend you, friends. It's more difficult. Life is a lot more difficult. As individuals, we are much easier enslaved, and that's why keeping a strong family, maintaining a strong family unit is so crucial. The only thing that does that, the only thing that really keeps a family united is love. And love is such a weird. My dad is always saying, well, what is love? Don't tell me, show me. That's my dad's favorite one. Don't tell me about love, show me love. Well, I do so all the time. You know, I do so all the time. My time, my energy, my money right now is being used to go see him in Los Angeles, and I said, look, I don't want to stay in your apartment because we're going to not get along. Your sleeping patterns and my sleeping patterns and my snoring, I snore very loudly, bothers you, and you don't let me sleep when I snore, and I sleep when I snore. So, because I snore, I'm not going to be able to stay in your apartment. It's okay. Don't worry about it. But he's really angry about that. And it's okay. He can be angry about it, but I need to sleep too. So I'm thinking I'll probably just stay in a homeless shelter near him in San Pedro or in Whittier. I think it's Whittier. I got to check the map tomorrow. Make a critical map to figure out how I'm going to stay closer to him but not on top of him, so we can get along a lot easier, a lot smoother. And there's the power dynamics between father and son. He always wants to be the father, and it's like, okay, yeah, you're the dad, you're the teacher, you're the dad, you're the good guy, and I'm actually not very good at that. The power dynamic stuff is not my forte. I don't like to obey. I don't obey very well, so and that gets to him. But I guess that's the way I was raised by my mom. And my mind is going on, and in 2 days I'm going to be flying to Tijuana, and my cats are going to feel sad, and that also breaks my heart. And I got to figure this whole thing out. I got to figure out what the hell I'm doing. Why am I doing what I'm doing? So there's a lot of reasons for me to go to LA. Not one, but there's a whole lot of reasons. The principle, the main one, the essence of me going to LA is to check in on my dad that is going to be turning 82, and he's not in the best of health. His health is a lot better. He's actually lost, I think he said 50 pounds. He was like 225 and he's like 175 right now. So he's lost like 50 pounds because he wants to live. And I applaud him on that. And he says, look, I'm like a monk out here. It's like my monastery. It was like a monk's cave. So I don't want to miss your monk's cave. I don't want to do that. But I do want to see him. I do want to see him. I want to interact with him. He's been talking a lot about dying and death. And that is preoccupating. That preoccupies. That worries me. Because mom was talking a lot about dying and death, and then she died. So I don't necessarily want to repeat with dad, but if he is getting himself ready to cross over, well, I want to take a little part of that too. I want to be there to help him. Uh, I don't want him to die alone, like Grandpa B. And in the end, it's not even my choice; it's his choice. It's how he wants to cross over, you know. But it's got me. It's got me. I don't want to say shaken or scared, because fear is the great mind killer. Fear is what we fight against. We have to control, not control, but let's say overcome our fear. I think fear it's a weird thing. Fear, being afraid for somebody, being concerned for. I'm afraid for my cats. I mean, if I'm not here, who's going to give them, their chicken in their mouth? Who's going to sleep with them? Who's going to? Mountie's just going to have to do it. He's going to have to take my place. And I think he's qualified. I think he loves the cats enough, but he's not me. He can't take my place because he's not me. And my cats want me. Like this one over here. Speaking of. Hello. Rabina Sponge. Look at this beautiful cat. See if I can put us some light. Yeah, you can't really see her. But she's gonna miss me, and I'm gonna miss her. And I'm sacrificing time with my cats to be with my dad. And maybe I think it's also very important. I need to fix my eyes. I need the eye operation. You know, I mean, I don't even think about it anymore because I get used to looking at the world with a little with a little cover of steam or whatever it is, cloudy. Looking at the world cloudy. But my eyes were a lot better, and they're not getting better; they're getting worse. I need to attend that situation. I don't want to end up blind. And so, yeah, I'm trying to be proactive. I'm trying to do something good for myself. Trying to do something good for myself for change, not just for these cats. And oddly enough, these cats are what make me happiest. I love these cats. These cats really, really fill a void that I thought I didn't even realize I had it until the cats came into my life. I didn't even see the void of the. It's called tenderness. It's called love. The cats give me love. It's a very catty, feline love, but it's love, and it's sincere. They are totally sincere. Of course, they love me because I give them chicken, but they love me. I am the chicken giver. I am the great provider of chicken, the chicken provider. So the sentiment, the energy exchange, the symbiosis is real. I take care of the cats take care of me. It's just the way it is. And the love, this feeling of attachment, of love, of preoccupation, of the desire that they it's totally real. And leaving them with Mauricio for 3 or 4 or 5 months, I don't know how long we have to be there. It's a big deal for me, man. It's a big deal. It's a huge deal, you know. And of course, I'm gonna try to build a cat shelter, a real, honest to goodness, certified, legal cat shelter here in this house. Of course, I am. That's just common sense, is what needs to happen. But in a sense, what what is important is the abandonment that I have to leave these cats in 2 days, and I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. I can't sleep. Of course, in about an hour, I'm going to be totally exhausted. I'm going to sleep till 10 or 12 in the morning. Thank God I don't have class until like 4 in the afternoon. But I do have a lot of stuff to do to prepare for the journey, to prepare for the trip. And I don't. I mean, I've traveled my entire life all over the world. I've never been too worried about going anywhere, but it's been since Oregon, um, Mexico City. I really haven't moved much. I've been sitting here with my cats in this house for a while. Anyways, all these things are running in my head, and I can't sleep, and the cats are being cats. You can't see them because they're in the little cave with me. But I'm actually surrounded by cats right now. Cat right there. There's a cat right here. There's cats over here. I am surrounded by cats. I don't know. I think that's what I wanted to share. when I talk to the camera, to the little cell phone thing, and I go live on the blog, it somehow calms me down to think that my thoughts and and my my stream of consciousness gets solidified somehow by the Dajjal uh, Geisterbahn Hauptbahnhof. You know, uh, the I call it the devil's. Oh, the devil's train station of spirit train station. Because when we go online like this, we're actually entering into a kind of connective train of souls that are being taken from one moment in time to the next. We're recording, somehow we're traveling in time as spirits to the future from the past. And we are abandoning the ever-present moment of the now. Because what you're gonna when you see this, if you're seeing this tomorrow or the day after, or even in just in a few hours, you're not seeing the now, you're seeing the past. And we are traveling to the past, to my past. When you look at this video, it's going to be my past. It will already have passed. And I'm talking to you in the future that is going to be seeing this video. You see? So that's why it's a train. It's a time traveling spirit train that belongs to the devil. Why the devil? Because Google, Microsoft, OpenAI, that is not so open. All those things. I had the last discussion I had with ChatGPT. I realized ChatGPT is just a collector of information. It doesn't. If I ask certain questions, it will not answer them. And if you know what questions to ask, you realize, oh, all the intelligence of the universe to tell me anything I need to know about the universe. And you're not going to answer me that question because it's against company policy. It's against the rules. That's not an intelligent thing to do. That's not intelligence. That's manipulation. So, anyways, those are my thoughts. It's probably around 4 in the morning. I'm not tired, which is not good because I'm going to be tired in the daytime and I have to take a nap. Um, but I'm going to try to sleep. I'm going to try to rest. Maybe I'll put a boring chat about history or the occult that usually make me calm me down and make me sleepy. But my mind is too active right now to sleep. That's the problem. My mind is going too fast. I have too many things, and the fact that I'm leaving my cats has got me very rattled. Rattle is the word. Rattle is like when you shake a cage with an animal inside. The animal is sleeping until you shake the cage, and then it gets rattled. Or you open the cage and it gets rattled. So that's kind of what's happening to me right now. Rattled. All right, guys. I can't talk anymore. I don't even know what I was about to say. I'm just rambling and stream of consciousness rambling, trying over and over. Money, 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 money. How am I going to finance the trip? How am I going to finance, going here, going there, and keeping the cats fed while I'm away? Funny, but it's true. It's what I got to do. It's just the job. That's the job. That's the job description. I gotta make sure the cats don't miss any meals. I mean, I did it for my mom and for the kids for many. Used to send them money all the time, but they're not here anymore, mom and the kids. It's about Easter and the cats now. So it's a little change, a little shift in the purpose and the energy. So, anyways, I'm gonna try to sleep. Good night. Bye bye.